Hey guys, Drew here. Welcome to the Stouting Off podcast. Before we get rolling, remember as always to like, subscribe, and share with your friends, with your family, with your loved ones, etc. Let's get right into this episode. Hi, and welcome to episode number 42 of the Stouting Off podcast, where we spout off commentary about everyday things. Hello, come one, come all, and welcome to the Stouting Off podcast, where I have my newly rigged up MIDI controller where I can give sounds like this. Oh, wrong one. That one. The cheering sound. Isn't that nice? I'm going to set it down for now. And now, what I want to do next is welcome, firstly, my producer, Jordan, who's joining me live, remotely, as always. Jordan, what's up, man? I heard you fell asleep in a pool today. Is that right?
I sure did.
How was the nap, and how long was it? What was the duration?
It was about 25 minutes, and it was too short.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Could you ever have a waterbed? Would you ever be able to sleep on a waterbed?
Don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
Maybe if you're a good boy this year, Santa will bring you a waterbed for Christmas.
It seems so complicated.
It does, and it seems like a lot of maintenance. I also want to join a very close friend of this podcast, both Jordan and I personally as well, a guest who has been with us before, and he's with us again, and he'll be with us once or twice more after this, I have to imagine. He goes by the name of Will Woodington, and Will, I would like to welcome you to the podcast.
Thank you very much, Drew and Jordan. Jordan, how you doing today? You said pretty good?
I'm decent.
He's still
okay.
good.
I'm just tracking. I keep a log of everything.
About how everybody's doing.
It's also I also imagine Jordan going through a REM cycle in water, which just, I mean, that annoys me.
Yes.
That really bothers me.
Well, that bothers me too, because Jordan is, Jordan and I are very similar in a lot of ways, but we're also very different in a lot of ways. And one of the ways that we're different is that he can sleep anywhere, in any position, any time of day, for any amount of time. He's gifted at sleep, and I'm not. Isn't that right, Jordan?
Yeah, that's true.
He went to the famous Sleep Academy for college, I believe.
He
which
did.
He got a degree.
I did graduate from sleep.com.
Right.
Sleep,
that was an online degree.
sleep.com.
It was like Phoenix.
Yeah.
University of Phoenix.
It's accredited though somehow, and it's you can actually get a real degree from there. Sleep.com Academy. Yeah, welcome again, Will. You guys are both coming to us. Jordan's laughing. You guys are both coming to us from Jordan's home studio, which is nice. You do have a guest in the studio as well. Joe Gessler, welcome. It was your birthday recently, and I'm not even sure if he can hear me, to be quite honest, but he looks happy. He looks bald.
He's rather bald today, I would say, more so than other days, yes. But yeah, Joseph is here.
Special guy. Welcome, Joe. And let's just jump right in. How has the week and weekend been? Will, anything eventful happen? Anything of note that you want to tell me about?
Week and weekend. Just, outside of work and everything like that, I was telling you about this, but something insane happened last night on the road to do with an automobile that I experienced.
Okay.
On the road.
I'm listening.
So where I live in Plymouth, Michigan, it's a very small town. I think it's 2 square miles is how big this place is. And it's very quaint and a lot of old buildings. And the entire city limits, it's 25 miles per hour on these streets, right? So I'm coming home. It's like 12:30 at night, driving down Main Street. And I'm about to get to these railroad tracks because Plymouth is surrounded by railroad tracks. So I'm coming up to these tracks. And all of a sudden in my rearview mirror, I see these headlights fast approaching my car, and again, it's 25 miles per hour. So I'm like,
were you going the speed limit? Were you going 25?
I was doing maybe 26. Maybe.
Cruise control set at 26?
Yep, I had cruise control set. I want to make sure I'm not getting a ticket, all that stuff.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Cruise control on at 26. I see these headlights flying past me. I think it's maybe a cop. But to no avail, this car all of a sudden gets into the oncoming traffic lane on my left side and passes me doing, and I'm not joking, 80 miles per hour.
There's no.
That's what it was. I clocked it. I clocked it with the radar.
He clocked it.
I have an app on my phone. It's a radar app.
He just holds up the phone and it just clocks anybody. It's an
Anybody.
app.
He was like the Waze ghost, like flying by him.
Yeah. Oh my.
So I clocked this guy doing 80. He blazes past me. Exhaust just loud as can be.
Mm-hmm.
He gets back into the lane in front of me. Doesn't slow down for the railroad tracks. Continues to do 80 miles an hour over the tracks. And that area of the railroad tracks is not like, oh, it's just a little slight bump. No, it's like an incline, like a hill.
Like a little ramp.
This guy does 80 over the railroad tracks, catches at least 10 feet of air, and slams down back onto the pavement. And there's a group of kids on my left who are like screaming and cheering. And I swear to you that I thought I had interrupted a movie that was occurring. A filming was occurring for Fast 10 in Plymouth, and I accidentally drove into the set. That's what I thought had happened.
There were some fans nearby.
There were fans nearby,
here
gawkers.
Here's the jump. They've been planning this all day.
Yes.
They're doing the jump.
Right.
A 10-foot.
Those kids were the extras. And I interrupted the movie.
And it was Vin Diesel's stunt double driving.
Joseph.
It was Joe. It was Joseph. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
but ultimately, and then from what I remember when you told me the story last night, and it was late, so I was conked almost, but I remember you mentioning that after he landed 10 feet again, to recap, caught 10 feet of air, landed, sparks, bottomed out, and then he cut it down to 25, and then he just kind of poked through town. Is that right?
Right. So he went right back to his day as normal after that stunt, literal stunt. And I caught up to him, and I'm behind him, and he does 25 up until he gets to Ann Arbor Trail or whatever street it was.
Yeah,
right
passes
downtown
through
Plymouth.
downtown, right?
Yep. So he's going through the heart of downtown. This guy, again, what I saw jarred me. Just seeing it happen.
You were shook.
You would figure the driver would be just as like hyped up, or he would have sped out of town after doing that stunt, which was right by the police station, by the way.
Yeah, true.
And I pull up behind him. He's got his arm across the back of his passenger seat, relaxed as could be, after doing 80 in a 25 and getting 10 feet of air over railroad tracks. Just relaxed and cool as could be.
I'm picturing him do like that while he's going over the train.
Dude, you said I had cruise control on. He didn't shut his off after he got off the freeway, I think is what happened. He just kept going. It was insane.
Oh.
So that was,
Will, it's cool that you got a behind the scenes peek at Fast 10. I've never actually seen any of the Fast and Furious movies in that whole franchise. I've never even seen the first one.
Really? I would have figured at least the first one or two.
You would assume that because I'm such a huge car guy and a huge movie guy?
You're a grease monkey, man. You're a wrench
love
guy. You love wrenching.
Love to wrench on motor parts and stuff, dude. But surprisingly, that's the only vehicle auto sports movie I've never seen, if you can believe that.
Yeah, you've seen all the rest. I know that.
I have.
But
I have.
the Fast movies are good, but I'm right there with you. I almost have seen none of them. I've seen, I think, 2 or 3 of them, and I don't remember the last time I watched one of them. So it's been a while.
I think I've seen the first one.
Have you, Jordan?
Yeah, I think I've seen the first one.
That was with Paul Walker.
That was with Vin Diesel, right?
Yeah.
Vin Diesel. I remember a conspiracy theory that Vin Diesel, remember he in like 2000 to 2004 was in like several big movies, like blockbuster movies. I feel like he was in several, and he just came out of nowhere, and there was a conspiracy that he was the Antichrist, because if you rearrange the letters in Vin Diesel, you can spell devil.
Without the N.
Without the...
Yeah.
Yes.
If you take the N out of Vin Diesel, you can spell devil.
You can spell devil
somehow. So devils.
Let's see. I'm not good at thinking of what words look like if I can't see them in front of me, but I think there are a few extra letters there, right? And
yeah, so Vin out of devil would be V and I. no N. Diesel would be D.
Yeah, you've got an extra S, I, and N, right?
Yeah.
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 This. What?
So anyway.
How did they get devil out of it? Anyway.
I mean, it was just one of those things. You're like in middle school and you hear the moms talking, and well, some people think he's the Antichrist.
And he
spell
was in a
devil
'cause
movie
he's got
called
a-
Triple X.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's got a tribal tattoo on his arm. Uh-oh.
At the peak of tribal tattoo popularity.
Oh,
he
yeah.
was the guy, dude.
He started it, maybe.
Him and Goldberg, the wrestler, who had
Wow.
barbed wire.
Yeah.
Goldberg, man. He was one of
Dude.
my favorites.
Will, I thought of you earlier this week, man. Because we have talked about this before, and it actually happened to me again. We both, we both have our own sleeping rituals, right? Like I know that when we've traveled together, we both bring our own white noise machine.
Mm-hmm.
And we both do our own thing and stuff. And I remember you saying, "Dude, has your power ever gone out in the middle of the night and your
Mhm.
white noise machine stops?" And I was like, "Yes." Yes, the silence is loud. It wakes me up when it turns off.
The
dude.
silence is deafening.
It is. And that happened to me earlier this week at about 4 a.m. I was like, I was sleeping, of course. And then
Mhm.
when my power cut out and the white noise machine turns off, and it's not like it booms or anything. It doesn't snap or anything else. It's just suddenly not on anymore.
Right.
And I snapped awake. I snapped again like, "Don't wake Daddy, Jord." I just popped out of bed. What happened? And I remembered that was a shared experience that you've had in your sleeping career as well.
Yes. Yes. That happened at a low point in my career.
Yeah, sure. A low
I know.
point.
I know what that means. But dude, I'm so used to sleeping with the white noise machine. Let's also preface it with the fact that when we do vacation together and we do bring white noise machines, we're talking about us sleeping in the same room.
Yeah,
Two separate beds, 2 white noise machines going.
Yep. We
And
do
it is
two of
the-
everything.
It's the most beautiful symphony you could ever imagine.
I swear, I don't know what it is about your white noise machine, but it plays with mine. And there's this principle in physics when sound waves from different sources overlap. It's called constructive interference.
Mhm.
And dude, there's this beautiful interaction between the sound waves from both of our sound machines, dude.
Our
It's-
white noise machines are cut from the same cloth.
They are, dude.
Can I give you my perspective?
Yeah, let's hear it.
So we had the pleasure of rooming together, all three of us, during a golf tournament a few months ago.
True.
The inside of our hotel room sounded like an Airbus 330. It was
So nice, dude.
Beautiful.
It was. I mean, I was literally in front of the engine of the
Yep.
plane.
We've gone on trips like with other friends who, like Johnny, like you, people who are gifted sleepers, and they're always like, "How can you sleep like that?" And I'm like, "How can you sleep without this, dude? This is like meditation."
Yeah.
I like it when I'm sleeping with other people who need it because I don't need it. But if
Yeah.
I'm sleeping with other people who need it, I like it because if I'm tossing and turning, or if I like roll over, or if someone makes a noise with their lips, like,
Yep.
you know, without them knowing about it or whatever,
Yep, it's
it's
masked.
drowned out. Yeah, it's
Yep.
drowned out.
That's the key. That's the key.
And-
Go ahead, Will.
It really helps me because a train passes through my living room at about 18 times per day. So
Yes, Will also lives backed up to train tracks, guys. So if you've been listening to this podcast for any amount of time, you've heard me talk about the train tracks that are right behind my house. Will also lives backed up to train tracks in Michigan, but he lives right by in between 2 crossings, pretty much.
mhm.
So when that train is coming through and it's telling people to get off the tracks and here we're coming across the crossings, it is like, I mean, it's literally like 200 feet or less from your window.
I can step out my door and hop right into the train. It's not an issue.
And you've done that before.
Yeah. I have to get somewhere quick. Yeah.
When gas prices were too high,
Right.
you started
Absolutely.
taking train around.
I'm an
I remember
economical guy. Yeah. I mean,
Taking train around.
Funny story. You guys probably know this, but our friend Tim back in like 2000, maybe 8 or 10. So at the time we were probably 20 or so, 20, 22, somewhere in there. And Tim went through like a train hopping phase, Tim Brady.
Of course.
Of course. And one time he jumped on a train that was crossing right by actually where your apartment is, Will, before we knew you. And he jumped on the train when it was going very slow, and then it like picked up speed, and it ultimately, like, it's too fast to where he couldn't jump off. It started going like 50. And so he couldn't get off the train, dude. And it took him to Grand Rapids, which is 2 hours and 20 minutes away.
Dude, how was he holding on? Like, where was he in the train?
No, he was like on the side, like on a ladder or something, like hugging a ladder.
He
I'm
did
pretty
that
sure.
all the way to Grand Rapids.
Yes.
He did that all the way to Grand Rapids. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard, dude.
He did it all
And
the
it's
way
so
to Grand
perfect.
Rapids, dude.
It's so perfect for Brady.
Hugging a
went
ladder,
through-
dude.
He went through a train hopping phase. It wasn't just a
phase.
one-time thing. It was a phase, man. He would try to get other people going on it.
Dude.
We'd be like, no. We got into all kinds of shenanigans with him leading the charge, the shenanigans charge.
Just one of those guys where you know the night's not going to be boring.
Man,
Isn't that the way that the guy in Dennis the Menace got around?
Hopping trains
Chris-
like a hobo.
Christopher Lloyd, well, he was a hobo. Yeah.
Yeah.
He jumped off the train into Dennis's town. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right.
That's
Brady is
Brady.
Christopher Lloyd.
Apple, dude. I wrote down one topic that I was thinking of earlier this week because I got into a discussion with this over dinner with some friends the other day, and it actually yielded some nice conversation. I'm curious to know, for both of you, but I'll start with Will. What was your first job? What was your first real job?
Aco Hardware.
Aco Hardware.
Yep. That's when
Were
I
you-
was 15.
Were you over a particular department, or were you just all purpose? Or what?
I was a CFO for ACO from the age of 15 to 21. No, I was just like a stock guy. I would work the cash register. One of the more brutal parts of the job was restacking pallets of topsoil. So 40-pound bags that are all in disarray from customers, shoveling it all around.
Sure.
So restacking those in the heat in an Aco polo and black pants. I would smell like fertilizer every moment of my life.
Fertilizer Rice.
Yeah.
That's right.
My
She's
great
the
aunt.
CFO.
Yeah, she's the CFO. Got my story wrong.
We love her.
Yeah. Fertilizer Rice. That's really dumb. But yeah, it wasn't too much of an enjoyable job. Just something to do when I was 15, 16.
Fair. I got my story wrong. Is so stupid.
I wasn't the
Oh,
CFO.
that's right.
Fertilizer Rice was the CFO.
Oh, that is so stupid. Oh, Jordan, what was your first job?
I kind of always worked with my dad, but that doesn't really count. You said real job. So the first one where I was actually employed and got a W-2 was a place called ER1, which was conveniently located across the street-ish from my high school.
Oh,
And so 15 years old, my mom worked there, and I needed something to do after school, but she couldn't pick me up. So she's like, oh, my son knows how to do computers and stuff like that. Like, maybe we should look into hiring him. And so I started doing data entry for that company and got a lot of like typing chops actually from that company as well.
Really?
But yeah, I would like basically like code medical records from a sheet and then like enter it into a different sheet and do all these different things.
Yeah, fair.
The weirdest part about that, actually, fun fact, was that sometimes I would get sheets for people that I knew.
Ooh, yeah. And HIPAA's going to require you not to say a dang word.
I'm not going to, but
Right.
The hippo,
I did see
the
it.
master hippo.
Yeah, which is the law of the land.
Yep.
What about yours?
My first job was at a store that sold drinking water. Did either of you know about this? Jordan, did you know about the water store?
No.
I know you. I haven't told you about this, right, Will?
What water store are you
Yeah,
referencing?
dude. I worked for a frigging water store.
Kroger.
Yeah.
I had friends that worked for an ice vendor, by the way, real quick. Go
Ice
ahead.
vendor?
Yeah. People that make ice. That's crazy. But go ahead.
Man, there's a spot for... Oh. Did you see the light shift just now?
Yeah.
Dude, for no reason at all. The light box just like fell a degree or two.
It's all right.
That's crazy.
Water.
Water store. So I forgot what it was called, but it was in a strip mall in a town around you guys called Northville. And this guy, his name was Arlen, and he sold drinking water that was alkalized. So it had a pH over 7. Water neutral, pH 0. Nope, pH 7 is neutral water. Anything below 7 is considered acidic. Anything above 7 to 14 is considered basic or alkaline. And he would sell this water with these claims that it could cure cancer with a voice crack. It could cure cancer, could cure could cure adult puberty like I'm going through. It could cure heart disease, all these things.
It's the fine print, though. It could cure cancer with a voice crack. Only if your voice cracks.
There's an asterisk there. Yes.
Yeah.
Only if your voice cracks after.
So anyway.
So he's making these insane claims. And I remember when he was telling me about the science, and if you're just listening to this, listener, I'm doing the bunny ears quotations because what he was saying was not science. And I know that now, but I didn't know that at the age of 15 or 16 because I didn't pay attention to biology. But he would be like, okay, so this is the cell. He would draw it on the thing. And all cells in your body are negatively charged. False. I know that now. And he said, only water with a positive charge can enter into your cell. False. Claim number 2. And you need to buy alkalized water, which is positively charged. Mostly false. Like, water is not positive or negatively charged. It's neutral. It's a neutral charge, and it has nothing to do with the pH of it. But anyway, he would have me fill these jugs with alkalized water that went through this machine, which apparently made it more, I don't know, higher pH.
Alkalized.
And then we would sell these gallon jugs to people. And so that's what I did for about a year. And I was like, this is weird. And then I left there to go to Best Buy. But interesting story. The guy actually died from heart issues about 2 years after I left the company.
Wow.
The water failed him.
It did.
The science failed
come
him.
through.
And you hate to hear that.
So you were bottling up snake oil for a year.
I was. Dude, I was.
Or whatever.
And also, he would tell me sometimes, fill up 3/4 of it with alkalized water and then fill the rest with tap. He's like, it's a little diluted, but it's no different. I'm like, dude, you are a snake oil salesman.
Yes.
So
how did you sell it?
I wasn't a salesperson. I just worked in the retail store. It was just me and him.
Okay,
So
so,
I would
it was like a brick and mortar. People would come in and buy it.
Yeah, he had a storefront. He was advertised on a couple radio stations, and people would come in. And this was around 2004, so people would come in and just buy the jugs. And so if there were no customers, I'd just be filling. If there were customers, I'd do the register.
Nice.
Yeah. But then I grew up, and I was like, sorry, you were actually lying. You didn't know you were lying? I think the guy was an honest guy, with the exception of telling me to only partially fill the things. He was an honest guy, but he was just wrong.
Yeah.
He was just ignorant.
Just trying to sell that snake oil, man, any way you could.
He was just ignorant, which ignorance is bliss in a lot of ways, you know.
Truthfully. Did either of you guys ever work in the restaurant industry or no? At any point in time? No?
It's a negative for me.
No restaurant experience.
No.
Did you? Oh, you worked at the pizzeria.
For a year. Yep. I was at Buddy's Pizza.
Were you a server?
I was a busser.
That's disgusting.
I know. It was disgusting. Yeah, I just, it was close to home, and I worked with pretty much my entire graduating class there. So it was, it was just fun.
Your diploma came with guaranteed employment at Buddy's Pizza.
Entry-level job right out of high school, or while you're in high school still. Yeah, it was not super fun because, yes, you're cleaning up dirty napkins and food, and you're basically the garbage disposal of the restaurant.
Dude, that's what a busboy is. That's so gross.
You are the garbage disposal. And yeah, it was
true.
It was crazy. I remember I fell a couple times during like peak hours, like peak dinner rush hours. One time I was on the stairs and my friend Derek dropped like this dish tray that was filled with water on the steps, and a bunch of water and like forks and stuff. And I'm coming down with a huge tray, and it was like Home Alone, dude. I step on the forks and the water and stuff, and the restaurant is packed. There's people waiting by the door. Everyone can see what just happened. I like slid on the forks, on the stairs, on the water, dropped my entire tray that I was carrying. And the restaurant just went dead silent because it was the loudest thing ever. But then I trumped myself with that. And I was carrying a stack of plates like I was in the Barnum and Bailey circus that was 5 feet high that I shouldn't have been carrying in the first place. And I walk over to where the plates are supposed to go and somehow trip from the carpet to the tile, and all of the plates come out of my hand. And that was like an F-16 had just crashed in front of me. That's how loud it was. Like, and I was already upset because it was really busy and I was sweating and tired and all this stuff. Drop all the plates. What do you hear from the corner of the restaurant? Opa!
Hate it.
Ooh.
I got an Opa, dude. If you
hate it.
Yeah. I wanted to find that guy and give him a piece of my mind and a breadstick.
I want to tell you what you did wrong, but here you go.
Bless
those
what,
who
curse you.
I got some words for you, but would you like a refill on your breadsticks first?
Jordan and Will, I want to go into a segment we haven't done in quite a while called What's Drew Been Watching? But I hit the wrong cue. I hit don't do that. So what's Drew been watching? Wrong one again. Guys, I want to go into the next segment called What's Drew Been Watching? You guys can see now that I'm without a producer in the studio. Jordan used to do all that right from the keyboard. And I'm still learning the ropes.
To be honest with you though, I love that thing being on your lap while you're recording this. It's just
it's awesome, right?
Yeah, it's wonderful.
It looks great.
I thought
there are a couple commands on here.
I thought you were going to play like the accordion in the middle of this podcast for a second or something.
Actually, I want to stop you right there. I have a recital coming up that I wanted to.
A recital coming up
on a tiny little keyboard with 20 keys. I lately though, I have actually been watching Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys watched that show?
Yes.
All the way through.
Yo, I can't in good conscience like recommend, hey, everybody should watch this because it's kind of dark. But I'll be honest, man, it is like you get to the episode or the end of one episode and then you have to keep going to the next one.
Have to, dude.
So if you are one of the 10 people in America who hasn't watched the show, because I really do think I'm the last person to see it, but just in case you're one of those 10 or less people left in the country who haven't seen it, it's about a guy who gets a rather gloom and doom cancer diagnosis. And he's a chemist and a chemistry teacher, and he decides to go into cooking meth in order to I'm speaking correctly, right? This is accurate so far,
yes.
Right, guys?
Yep.
Well, I'm reading it off of Wikipedia. That's why. And so I have the teleprompter behind the camera.
He's a science teacher.
He's a science teacher. But he's like got a really solid chemistry background. And he knows his way around a lab, and he decides to start cooking meth to A, cover the costs of the cancer treatment, and B, in the event that he does pass away, his family has some money to, to live off of, and he can support them in that way. So it starts out with the show with you really rooting for this guy, and he's the protagonist. Like, you are rooting for him, even though he's doing something illegal. He's doing it for the right reasons. But I tell you guys, I'm on season, I think, either 4 or 5 now, and as the show goes on, this guy's actually got a dark side to him. Like, he's like pretty prideful, pretty greedy, a bit narcissistic, a bit like kind of like sociopathic. Will do whatever it takes in order to get what he wants, which is just like more and money and whatever. It's wild, though.
He kind of steps into that role. Like, he eases his way into it,
Yeah,
like
it's cool how.
And so you're rooting for him, but then like, yeah, he just goes full bore. Like, this is who I am now.
He goes nuts.
Thing. Yeah, he goes nuts.
Yeah.
And it's so gradual. That's what I think is cool about that character in that show. The way it's written is like, it's very gradual. Because again, you start rooting for him, and then he starts to make these choices where once per episode, you're like, huh, that was, I don't know. That was kind of, I don't know if I agree with that. And then those little compromises just become more frequent and more severe.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It takes off. Yeah, it takes off. He just like, it's like that side of him was always inside of him, but it was just waiting to be unlocked, kind of deal. You know what I mean?
Sounded Shakespearean how you said that. That side of him, or a rapper, that side of him was always inside of him, and Walter White inside of him.
And that Breaking Bad was always inside of him. He was always waiting to break bad.
Breaking Bad is the new Hamilton musical.
Yes. And there are actually a couple offshoot shows of Breaking Bad, aren't there? Better Call Saul, and then there's like another one too. I think they actually made it like a movie, not Breaking Bad movie, but like a movie based on the show or the characters or something.
Yes. Better Call Saul is awesome too. So once you get done with Breaking Bad, you gotta
Well,
watch
I
that.
love Bob Odenkirk. That's his name, right? I love that guy.
Robert Odenkirk.
You can't give me Bob, huh? You got to go full name.
Yeah, I'll go full name on you.
All right.
Full birth name, yeah.
Fair enough. Do you have a pour there?
I do.
All right, let's talk about that after I wrap What's Drew Been Watching.
Sounds good.
I just did a yay. All right, so what do you got there, Will?
I have Backbone Bourbon. It's called Decade Down. It's uncut. So it's 110 proof. It's 5 years, 2 months old. And it's MGP source from Indiana.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. I tried this, and so did Jordan, at the Detroit Whiskey Fest. And after I tried it, it was ranked like one of 6 cast strength bourbons to try right now by Whiskey Advocate, I think.
Sir? Wow. Okay.
So I tried it when I was there because I had heard the hype, and I'm like, yeah, I got to get a bottle. So
Respect.
got one.
Is that the one my brother got me in Michigan
No.
and left with? Okay, it's not that.
He got you the 15-year.
Is it from Backbone?
Yes.
Well, let's go then.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
the proof on that one?
That I don't know.
It's in the pudding.
It is in the pudding, so you have to find out in the pudding.
I know.
You got to make the pudding. You got to find out.
I'll have to find out what the pudding said. Will, you weren't able to join the happy hour over Zoom with Jordan and I yesterday, but we were on there with Jordan's brother-in-law, Josh, and also our friend Christian. I set the keyboard down. I need a little table right here. That'll be my next
Keyboard
thing.
table.
Keyboard
Look it
table.
up on Amazon.
It's a classic category of product. Keyboard table, not keyboard stand or anything else. It's keyboard table.
They have rows and rows of them at IKEA or on Amazon. You can find tons of keyboard tables to meet your needs.
We were on a Zoom call yesterday talking about keyboard tables. We were talking with Christian, and he was saying that one of his friend's dads, right, Jord? It was a friend's dad. He's like, you guys know anybody who collects weird stuff? We're like, yeah, I mean, some people like their little knickknacks and their tchotchkes and just little things.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, but my friend's dad buys boots online that have mud from other states on them.
Yeah, dude.
We're like,
this was Andy Broda saying this.
oh, it was Broda. That's right. It was Andy Broda. He's like,
What?
He's like, yeah, I was talking with my friend, and his dad just bought a pair of boots with Iowa mud on them.
What?
And he has several pair of boots with mud from different states on them.
Why?
And Broda was saying his buddy was like, hey, Dad, I'm going to borrow these boots real quick to go. He's like, no. Those have Iowa
Those are
mud
my
on
Arkansas boots. You crazy?
them. Yeah, dude.
That's it, man.
It's so weird.
Dude.
It's
Size
so-
11, mint condition,
Why?
Iowa mud.
Why? I don't understand that. You know what that makes me think of is I don't know, last time you guys watched Saving Private Ryan.
It's been a while.
But one of like the leading guys in the pack, every new country or beach that they go to, he takes a sample of the dirt from that. So like when they stormed Normandy, he took a sample of the sand from the beach there. And it's
Sure.
like, okay, I get that memento because like you're traveling to other countries and like you fought there and all that. But to collect, first of all, boots that have mud on them
That's
from
weird.
other states, which you could easily travel to.
Easily.
And
They're
put-
a couple states away.
You can put mud on them yourself. You can put mud on your own boots.
That's so bizarre on so many levels to me. That's such a weird thing to collect.
You try when you find out people collect something, you try and wrap your mind around it. Because a lot of times when people do collect stuff, it can be hard to understand why they collect something. Like for me, like if somebody collects shoes that they don't wear, that's weird to me, right?
Yeah,
but
sure.
I own over 200 bottles of whiskey, and that's insane to most
Yeah.
people, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
But like I can explain to you why I have that much.
right.
How do you justify buying boots with mud on them?
It reminds me of like hoarders and My Strange Addiction and some of those shows where people are just obsessed and compulsive about collecting and saving weird stuff.
Yes.
Like, for example, buckets of their own feces.
Yeah. I'm going to use that one day.
Ugh.
Don't get rid of that.
Just in case we ever get a farm, we need fertilizer. We won't get cattle. We won't get cattle poop.
They will find
That's so disgusting.
any way to justify it. Hoarders is an insane show. It gives me
It
a lot
is.
of anxiety, but it also makes me feel a little bit better about myself at the same time.
Well, your bourbon collection is not hoarding by any stretch. It's a hobby. It's a passion.
Oh, right, yeah. And I'm
And
not
if-
climbing over a mountain of it to get into my apartment to go to bed.
Yeah.
Or
You're not
sleeping
sleeping.
on it.
Yeah, right. You're not
Right.
sleeping on a bed of clink, clank, and
I cover up with a bottle blanket somehow I've weaved.
bottles together.
Good night. Clink, 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 clink. Have you guys ever been like thought that you needed to buy something and then like you just obsess over it until you actually buy it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh
Like,
yeah, all the time.
I mean, this could be a new, like for me, this could be a new, like a dish brush to like wash dishes, or it could be a new vacuum brush.
And
Yeah.
Jordan, are these
A lot of
things-
brushes.
All sorts of brushes.
Oh,
lot
a
of
brush of
brushes,
every
dude.
a
It
brush
could
of
be a
every
new
kind.
hairbrush, a wet brush.
Paintbrush.
This guy collects brushes. Not afraid to admit it.
That's his strange addiction. I know what you're saying though, Jord. I have a test about that. I have a test now where if I am like interested in something, whether it be a pair of shoes or like a clothing item or a brush or anything, I'll try to put it off for 5 or 7 days. And if I still really, really want it after that time, then I'll usually pull the trigger on it. If it's not a total waste of money or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's pretty.
But
good
usually
idea.
I try
It's a
not
good
to
idea.
impulse buy.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
But I do impulse buy sometimes, admittedly. I mean, everybody does. But
Now, I have a question for you guys. When you need stuff around the house, like you're like, for instance, Jordan, if you're like, I need a new, the next brush of the day that catches your eye, you're like, I got to have that one now.
that's my brush.
Are you writing it down somewhere to keep track of like what you need? Like household items, household goods. Are you making lists? Are you making grocery lists for what you
No.
need to get?
If it's under $50, it's at my house the next day.
Oh, you're ordering it right online, probably.
Yeah, if I think about like, oh, I need to get
Let me hear the next brush, dude. I gotta hear
stainless,
what pink brush or
a grill brush.
Like for example, the other day I was like, oh, I need a new microfiber towel to like detail my car.
You finish the phrase brush. Microfiber
towel brush.
That's hard to say. Microfiber towel brush.
So I needed this. I found a pack of 10. It was $24.99. It was at my house between 4 and 9 a.m. the next day. The thing that I'm kind of referring to is like a new lens for my camera brush. And
a lens brush.
Something that it exceeds the go ahead and buy it between like Monica and I, you know.
Sure.
So something that just requires a little bit more budget. And that's the stuff that I will just look at and obsess over and just keep looking at and trying to find the best deal, never finding it, and ultimately never pulling the trigger.
Yeah, I would say with any kind of big purchases, I will do that too. I'll just like obsess over it, look at videos, think about it 1,000 times, put it in my cart, remove it from my cart, you know, all that. I just play around with it like a cat playing with a ball. I'm never going to actually do anything with it. Yeah.
Just play around.
Just a jingling ball. That's all it is to me.
That's fair. Yeah, like I said, my test is if I'm still thinking about it a week or so after, then I'll usually do it. Unless it's something like that's expensive, then I'm going to probably justify it in other ways other than I'm still thinking about it.
That's a good rule of thumb.
See, the thing is that I will easily pull the trigger on a $150 bottle of whiskey that I really want, but I will obsess over and mull over buying something that will actually maybe be more useful to me for weeks.
Sure.
For the same price.
Like a vacuum.
Yeah. Like I could have bought a bunch of vacuums now, like a proper vacuum, and I still haven't. But I've bought.
Do you have a vacuum?
I have a tiny Dirt Devil guy.
Oh, he got a little like shark one. Oh, Dirt Devil, whatever. It's a tiny one.
It's basically like a Fisher Price, like a fake vacuum.
A toy vacuum.
It just makes noise. That's all it does. Yeah,
dude. I think I think there's a minority of people that actually invest good money into bed sheets.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's the
not me.
What?
Not me. I don't invest into bed sheets. I get Amazon Basics.
That's the thing, though, is like the argument there is that you sleep in the sheets every single night. And so when I look at sheets, I'm like, Amazon Basics. What can I get for the best value?
Mm-hmm.
And then there are people who are like, what can I get that's 1,000 thread count? If I'm going to invest in something, it's going to be my sheets.
Yeah.
Not my car. Not my house.
I like my sheets feeling. I don't need them like silk. I don't need them silky smooth. I like it feeling kind of like a t-shirt. I like that jersey knit sheet. It just feels like a t-shirt. You know?
That's same with me.
That's my friggin' favorite texture on my skin. And I also, we've talked about this before, I don't use the top sheet. So it's only the fitted sheet for me. You don't either? Well,
no.
Respect.
I've got a comforter, and then I've got my whatever you call it, the mattress.
Fitted.
Yeah, the fitted sheet. That's it. Because
that's how I roll too.
I basically have an inferno going on inside my body at all times.
See?
Currently, I'm operating at a very elevated temperature.
Yeah. 105.
Yeah, I'm running a fever. But I don't show any sign of it. Like to the normal average human being, they would be in peril. I run 105 all the time. No problem. But a couple of years ago.
He's just built different.
Yeah.
He's just built
For my tax returns, I was like, you know what? What do I want to spend this on? I'm definitely not going to save it because I'm not responsible. And I'm like, what am I going to spend this on? And I'm like, I'm going to invest in sleep stuff. So I bought all new pillows, a new comforter, a duvet cover, sheets, a mattress, the sound machine. I was like, I am going to invest in sleep for sure. I don't regret it at all.
Yeah. Well, and you don't regret it still, right?
No, I don't regret it at all.
Yeah. No. That's exact. If I recall correctly, that's exactly what you just said 2 moments ago.
Yeah. And finally, to close out, to close, I don't regret anything at all. So,
if I would take it back.
was it in summary, that's one of my greatest regrets in life. No, I was taking a picture of the screen while you were explaining all that, so I wasn't fully listening, and that's going to be on me, and I'm contrite and I'm apologetic about that. I'm coming to you with my hat in my hands.
Nice.
But
Thanks for having me on.
Well, in that inventory of the shopping list that you procured,
yeah,
was a sleep mask in there?
No, I don't do a sleep mask. I cannot have anything on my face. Can't do it.
Bro, I'm telling you, once you try it, you'll never go back.
I've got blackout curtains.
Well, still with blackout curtains, a little light can get just behind the top, dude. I want pitch black, or else I'm going to lay in bed like this looking around.
Yeah.
Not even like, I'm just curious. Just, oh, there's my smoke detector. It's got a little green light on it. Like this. Oh, it looks like a car. You could see the car headlights like just barely peeking through the...
Like you're in a prison cell. Trying to see the outside world.
Oh, somebody drove by.
Dude, I feel like if I was in a sleep mask, I would feel claustrophobic. Like, what if I needed to blink? Like, what if I open my eyes and my eye like gets stuck?
Nope, because you got to get the ones where it doesn't touch your eyelashes. I have some that are like...
They make
goggles.
They make you look like a fly, like a human, like a fly superhero.
Dude, I got a new one for my birthday, dude. It's so nice. And it applies force to like around your eye, and it's actually like really pressure relieving. I think that's even like a massage tactic, or like
can you put that in the refrigerator or anything like that?
No, it's not one of those, but those are a thing too. I've never tried those before.
I could see that being kind of cool
for a fever or something, or just if you're like Will, just normal, just normal operating temp.
That'll get me down to 2 degrees above normal operating temperature for a human being. Yeah.
I run hot too, man. I run hot. Have you guys been golfing lately? I know you're both pretty golfers. Pretty golfers, man.
We're
you guys are pretty
golfers. You.
Pretty big golfers.
I golfed last weekend, Eagle Crest, in Ypsilanti.
That must be a golf course. Okay.
Yep, Ypsilanti. Don't even know where this.
Sorry to interrupt. I've been to their Easter brunch twice.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nice setup there.
They do it up nice.
Yeah. But it's next to a body of water, and if anyone is from Michigan, you know that in Ypsilanti, where is a body of water in Ypsilanti? What is the lake that runs through Ypsilanti? Because there was a lake
Huron
there.
River? There's Huron River. Runs through.
This is a pretty big river if it was a river. But
oh, there's a lake.
I don't know. There were pontoon boats on it and stuff. So, but
nice.
Yeah, it was
so
cool.
That's cool. Tell me why you mentioned the lake, and then I'll begin to understand why you said it.
Because I had no idea that we were in Ypsilanti when we were golfing. Because the lake was there.
You got there and there's a lake, and you're like, surely we must be anywhere except for
we must be
Michigan.
We must be in Big Rapids on the other side of Michigan right now, and the drive seemed a little bit shorter or something. Jordan's looking up the lake. I love this.
I see the lake, but I don't know the name of it.
What it doesn't
Ford
have
Lake.
Ford Lake.
It's gonna be Ford Lake.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard of that before.
I had no clue that a lake was in Ypsilanti at all, so it was very confusing. But it was a really nice course.
Nice.
Yeah, it was cool.
And Jordan, have you golfed this weekend yet?
No, I had some family come into town and had to do some stuff there, and
had a podcast to do, and
yeah, I mean, I'll get out at some point. But I played last weekend with our friend Joel Hall and Zach Robbins, two of actually the people that we've mentioned in the previous podcast.
Yeah,
for shouting us out. So thanks for that. But played with them at Washtenaw Golf Club, which was great. Good little track there.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool.
Nice.
Love to hear it. I've been to the driving range once.
I was gonna say you yourself got some clubs recently.
I did. I acquired some clubs, man, and I'm excited to play in the tournament next. Our friend group tournament, of course, with both of you next May. I can't wait. I'm stoked.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a tough game.
It is. It's very tough. You just got to stick with it. And even once you get your swing down, you still have very frustrating days where you throw your clubs at 200-year-old oak trees and they snap in half, and then you have to go get them reshafted for $200.
And that
So.
sounds like you speak from experience.
This is all just hearsay.
I heard somebody say that at the pro shop.
Yeah. That's what they told me when I bought
And
the
I
clubs.
never forgot. And I never forgot.
Yeah.
I can definitely relate to wanting to lose my mind on a golf course.
Mhm.
I have, last time I went to the driving range, well, 2 times ago, I sold my clubs the day after. I was like, this is for the birds. Tough game. Tough game. Yeah, but I would like to be good at it, and I like the community aspect of golf. I like the fellowship.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's the best thing. Like I'm still not very good at golf whatsoever. I'm starting to get there in some ways, but mainly I just go to hang out with my buddies,
that's it.
just go around
That's
and
it.
eat hot dogs and all that stuff. And I mean, we've
Dude,
got
I might get hot dogs for dinner. I saw a
at the
headline.
golf course,
Yeah, I might go up to the golf course and grab at the turn.
chase down the cart girl.
I saw a headline today that said every hot dog you eat shortens your life by 38 minutes.
I'm going to be dead in 5.5 hours. Then I think
You've had just millions of hot dogs.
I've got about 5.5 hours left, guys. So that this is good that we're catching up.
I had 2 hot
Oh,
dogs
this'll be-
today.
They're so good. They're so good. So
They are.
good.
And dogs on the course, there's nothing like it's just like hot dogs at a baseball game.
Baseball game.
Like
Sure.
it's the only time that I really ever eat hot dogs is on the golf
feel
course. And sometimes they're good. Sometimes, like where we were at Eagle Crest, I didn't get any. I ended up getting a chicken Caesar wrap, which was an audible for me. But
Wow.
Sounds good.
Mike Bomarito got a couple of dogs, and they looked like they had been resting inside of a fireplace for 3 years or so.
Just purely charred and blackened and just.
Yeah.
You know
Wow.
my
Shriveled.
favorite kind of hot dog?
My mom likes her hot dogs like that. It's weird.
I
Anything
like
burnt.
chili cheese dogs,
Mm.
also known in Michigan called coney.
Mhm.
Conies.
Coney. Yeah,
I
beautiful.
love conies.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful dog. That's a pleasurable snack. For
That's
sure.
what I had today.
It's wonderful.
Is the hot dog, the chili cheese, is it sauce or
Yeah.
the chili cheese?
Chili.
Yeah, chili. I put some mustard on there, called an audible on that, did some cheese,
Dude.
and I ate it with a fork.
Dude, I am about to wrap up this podcast just so we can go, so I can go get a chili cheese dog somewhere. I'm so hungry, actually.
Dude, 313 Coney in
Mm.
Nashville.
Oh, there's a place here?
It's a food truck.
Ooh, I'll have to look it up.
I think
right
it's
now.
called 313 Coney. It's called 313 something.
Oh, cool.
So good,
Sounds
man.
expensive. What, Will? What you got?
Conies are so dang good.
Yeah.
That's a
And I was
fact.
going to ask you about the mustard factor, or if you like load it up with anything.
Sounds like a documentary.
It does.
The mustard factor.
It's a documentary on Plotchman's. That company. Like the OG mustard company. Plotchman's, maybe. I don't know. It's spelled with a CH. When we were kids, my brother put mustard onto Doritos and then
Nope.
baked them
No,
and then wrote to
Santa.
Meyer. He wrote to the Meyer, like the grocery store chain, that he had a new chip idea and he wanted them to try it out. Wrote it out in detail, and they respectfully wrote back, "Thanks, but no thanks. We're working on other recipes, but thanks for your interest." And then accompanying that letter was a box filled with like 10 or 12 bags of chips.
Wow.
Wow.
Didn't Doritos back in the day, they may still do this, but I don't know if it was Doritos or not, but some chip company had a contest for come up with the next new flavor. Did they do it? Or was it Pringles
something like that. Yeah, somebody. Yeah, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I remember that, and I'm like,
Oh man,
what
yeah.
a great idea. What a great
That is a
marketing
great
idea.
good engagement.
But
right?
I'm pretty
The
sure
community.
someone did come out with mustard flavored chips, and it may have been, can't confirm this, it
My
may
brother.
have been Uncle Ray's. You know Uncle
Oh.
Ray's chips?
Yeah, sure.
They have all sorts of weird, wacky flavors, and I think mustard or maybe Coney. There's somewhere
Cognac.
out there. Oh, mustard Dijon. Kettle
Yeah,
chips.
that's going to be kettle chips.
Yes, mustard
Wow.
Dijon.
Yeah, save that image, Jordan.
Yeah.
Wow. Respect.
Dude,
maybe I'm gonna pick some of those up tonight too.
Yeah.
I like mustard, unlike Rake from Jackass. Remember?
Yes.
They poured mustard on him and he freaked out.
By the way, can't wait for the new movie.
Same.
Oh, can't wait. I think it comes out. Does it come out this year? End of this year?
It comes out in October or something. It comes out while I'm going to be on tour. But one of the guys in the band he already texted me and the other guy who's playing with us and was like, "We've got plans." I think it's October something.
Mm.
Monica's birthday, October 22nd.
Lovely.
He's like, "We got plans on October 22nd, boys."
I can't wait to go see it. And even if I do go see it before you're back here, we're gonna go see it. We're gonna watch it together.
Yeah,
so
we'll watch it together.
Yeah,
that's great. That's all I wanted to talk about today. Do either of you guys have anything else?
No.
I don't think I do.
It's like a business meeting, dude. I conduct this like a business meeting. All right. Those are all the open loops from my end. Is there anything you guys wanted to square away?
So I've got meeting notes from everything that we discussed today. So
what's your go forward? Yeah.
Yep. Man.
Well, Will, it's been, you're family, man. You are your family to this podcast and to me and Jordan both individually. So it's always a beautiful thing having you in the building.
Thank you so much. It feels like a beautiful thing to be in the building as well. The building is metaphorical, by the way. It's not a real place, but it's.
I wish you were in this building.
I wish you had a 5,000 square foot warehouse that you only did the podcast in, and that was the building.
In one little corner of it, dude.
He is in my new house. That's kind of special.
It is
to me.
It's nice.
It is being here.
First time you've been over there?
No, I've been here a few times now. I helped Jordan move in. Well, by the way, quick segue. When Jordan moved here, I was like, it was on a Saturday, I think, that he moved in.
Yep.
And I was like, let me know if you need help and stuff. And he's like, yeah. So the biggest thing is like, we got the piano and got him out the TV and stuff. I'm like, dude, I'll be over. So I didn't get here like right when they got here. And when I showed up, I got here just in time for them to unload the piano from the U-Haul. It was the last thing. And I got here and he had a bunch of, family and, everything over to help him. But, I basically touched one leg of the piano as it came down and as it went into the house. I just touched it. I made sure the leg was okay. That's all I did. And then for the remainder of the day, I really didn't do anything. And I'm like, Jordan, I feel bad, man. Like, let me do something. But we ended up knocking out the garage.
Yeah, we did the garage, man. That was a big help.
During a hurricane outside.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That happened with me recently. I helped somebody move into their new house, and when I got there, it turns out he already had like 3 or 4 friends already over for about an hour prior, and by the time I got there, I unloaded 2 boxes out of the truck. I was like, I'm sorry, but I did arrive at the time that I told them I was going to arrive at, so
yeah, it's not on you.
Yeah.
I wasn't the project manager on that. I was just a participant,
right. Yeah, you're not going to get doc pay for that, so
no.
Yeah.
In fact, he gave me a snare drum for helping.
Wow.
It's Austin. Special guy.
Dude, we really needed your help on these 2 boxes. You know what? Here's a snare drum.
Here's a custom snare. But to be fair, I was the only person who helped them pack their truck like a week before that.
Oh, that's good.
Oh. Yeah. So it was residual. It was residual back pay.
It was residual back pay. Yeah. It was comp time.
Right.
Will, thanks for being with us here on the Stouting Off podcast. We love you. And do you love us too?
Thank you, boys. Asking me if I love you.
Is there anything you'd like to say back to me? Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. You'll be back with us again, I'm sure. But in the meantime, guys, thanks. Hold on. Got to get my trigger board here, boys. Thanks as always for listening and watching the Stouting Off podcast, episode 42. It's been a pleasure. We love you. Bye.